Hello, friends, and welcome to another edition of the Audio Drive X podcast. In this week's episode, we're going to look into the history of Queens of the Stone Age and their 2002 album, Songs for the Deaf. But before we get started, don't forget to follow at Audio Drive X on Instagram. All right, folks, so I decided to do a band I feel is kind of underrated in Queens of the Stone Age. I've grown to like these guys over the past little bit, and they have a pretty different sound for the times. So, with that being said, let's kind of look into a bit of the history behind these guys and how they got started and where they are now. So the Queens of the Stone Age are a definitive force in modern rock, known for a robot rock sound, heavy, hypnotic, and meticulously groovy. It was founded by Josh Homme in 1996, following the dissolution of the stoner rock icons Qotsa. The band has evolved from a desert rock collective into a global arena act. After Qotsa disbanded, Homme moved to Seattle and briefly played with the Screaming Trees before returning to the California desert to start anew. Originally named Gamma Ray, the band released an EP in 1996 before rebranding to avoid legal trouble with a German metal band of the same name. Homme chose the name because Kings of the Stone Age felt too macho, whereas Queens felt more party-oriented and eclectic. The 1998 self-titled debut album was almost entirely a Josh Homme solo effort. He played both guitar and bass under the alias Carlo von Sexron, and it was featuring Alfredo Hernandez on drums. It introduced the world to trance rock, repetitive, downstroke riffs designed to be hypnotic. Later on, from 2000 to 2004, this period saw the band solidify its reputation as a supergroup of the underground, featuring a revolving door of elite talent. On their Rated R album, they added former Qotsa bassist Nick Oliveri and vocalist Mark Lanigan. This album was a critical turning point. It blended punk aggression with psychedelic melodies, producing hits like The Lost Art of Keeping a Secret. Their album, Songs for the Deaf, which is going to be our album review this week, is widely considered a masterpiece. This concept album featured Dave Grohl on drums and Troy Van Leeuwen on guitar. It simulated a drive through the desert with radio channels surfing between the tracks. Songs like No One Knows and Go With The Flow propelled them to mainstream stardom. Internal friction led to the firing of Oliveri in 2004, leaving Homme as the sole original member. Their 2005 album, Lullabies to Paralyze, is a darker, grim fairy tale inspired record that focused on atmospheric textures. Their 2007 album, Error Vulgaris, is a dirty-sounding, jagged album influenced by electronic music and gritty urban environments. During this tour, Michael Schumann on bass and Dean Fertitta on keyboards and guitar joined, forming the backbone of the current lineup. Following years of constant touring, Homme focused on Them Crooked Vultures with Dave Grohl and John Paul Jones. In 2013, Queens of the Stone Age entered their most stable and introspective phase after signing with Matador Records. Their 2013 album, Like Clockwork, was born out of Holmes' near-death experience during a surgery. This album was vulnerable and cinematic. It introduced drummer John Theodore and featured guests like Elton John and Trent Reznor. Their 2017 album, Villains, was produced by Mark Ronson. The band experimented with tight, danceable rock and swing rhythms. Their 2023 album, called In Times New Roman, was a return to a raw, self-produced sound. This record focused on resilience and personal upheaval, cementing the current quintet as the longest-running lineup in the band's history. Following their worldwide The End Is Nero tour, the band has recently leaned into highly conceptual live experiences. Alive in the Catacombs, released in 2025, the band released a widely acclaimed concert film and live album recorded in the Paris Underground. The Catacombs tour, which is going on right now, the band has performing a series of catacomb shows in historic, intimate theaters, like the Met in Philadelphia, often featuring a reimagined arrangements of their deeper catalog. For the summer of 2026, the band has announced a massive stadium tour across Europe and North America, alongside System of a Down. So there's a little bit of history behind these guys and where they are now. So I hope you liked a little bit of that. And like I said before, if you like stuff like this, please follow the Audio Drive Instagram account at Audio DriveX and for your daily music content. So now onto the album review, which I said before was their 2002 album, Songs for the Deaf. To truly understand Songs for the Deaf, you have to view it as more than an album. It is a high-concept sonic cinema. It's a road movie for the ears, capturing a drive from the sprawl of Los Angeles into the heat-warped silence of the Mojave Desert. So track number 1 is titled, You Think I Ain't Worth a Dollar, But I Feel Like a Millionaire. The album opens with the sound of a car door, a radio dial turning, and the voice of DJ Kip Casper. Then the music hits like a head-on collision. Originally a Desert Sessions track, this version is fueled by Nick Oliveri's throat-shredding vocals and Dave Grohl's caveman strength drumming. It's a masterclass in tension and release. The looping guitar riff creates a sense of claustrophobia before exploding into one of the most aggressive openers in rock history. Track number 2 is titled No One Knows, and probably one of the best songs on the album. This is the album's North Star. It features a swinging oompa-pa rhythm that Josh Homme famously derived from polka and gypsy jazz, but played through a wall of mid-heavy amplifiers. The solo is quintessential Homme atonal, quirky, and avoiding every blues rock cliche. It's a song that proved stoner rock could be sophisticated, catchy, and danceable without losing its edge. Track number 3 is called First It Giveth. This is a rhythmic powerhouse. The song focuses on fickle nature of inspiration. Grohl's drumming here is the highlight, utilizing a rolling flam technique on the snare that makes the song feel like it's tumbling down a hill. The shift from the heavy verse to the melodic, falsetto-laden chorus is seamless. Number 4 is called A Song for the Dead. Mark Lanegan takes the mic, and the temperature drops. This is a doom blues epic. It begins with a drum tribute to Black Flag's Slip It In, before settling into a swampy, chromatic riff. The false endings are legendary. The band stops completely, only to roar back to life even faster. It's a grueling, brilliant display of musical telepathy between the trio. Track number 5 is called The Sky Is Falling. This track brings back the robot rock precision. It features a heavy, descending guitar line that feels like a physical weight. It's one of the more atmospheric tracks, utilizing Qotsa guitar tones to create a sense of impending doom. Number 6 is called Six Shooter. This is a 73-second burst of pure, unadulterated road rage. It serves as the intermission. It's messy, loud, and ugly, a reminder that the desert is a dangerous, unpredictable place. Track number 7 is called Hanging Tree. Originally written by Alain Johannes for the Desert Sessions, Lanegan's baritone makes this feel like a cursed nursery rhyme. The 5/4 time signature gives it a limping, uneasy gait. It captures the folklore of the Joshua Tree era, lonely, mysterious, and slightly occult. Track number 8 is called Go With The Flow. This is another big hit for them on this album. This is a masterclass in monotone rock. The song stays largely on one chord for the verses, creating a hypnotic, driving sensation. The addition of a bright, stabbing piano makes it feel grander than a standard rock song. It's the most romantic moment on the record, albeit a nihilistic one. Track number 9 is titled Gonna Leave You. A 60s-inspired garage pop song disguised as a punk track. After the heaviness of the previous tracks, this feels like a breath of fresh air. It's lean, mean, and incredibly catchy, showcasing Oliveri's ability to actually sing when he isn't screaming. Track number 10 is titled Do It Again. This is pure sleaze rock. It has a bouncy, rhythmic strut that feels like a nightclub in the middle of a wasteland. It bridges the gap between the melodic pop of the previous track and the psychedelic darkness to follow. Number 11 is called God Is in the Radio. This is a 6-minute blues metal odyssey. Lanegan returns for a sermon on the religion of the airwaves. The extended solo section is the album's jam moment. It's smoky layered and showcases Ohm's unique scale choices that sound Eastern and eerie. Track number 12 is called Another Love Song. This is a psychedelic surf rock track. It sounds like a 1960s TV theme song gone wrong. It's a rare moment of bright psychedelia before the final hammer falls. Track 13 is called A Song for the Deaf. This is the climax. It features a call and response between Holm and Lanegan over a riff that sounds like a tectonic plate shifting. The lyrics, you can't even hear it, are ironic, considering the sheer volume of the track. The ending, hidden laugh, is a meta commentary on the band's own history. And finally, track 14 is called The Mosquito Song. This is an acoustic epilogue featuring accordion, horns, and a Spanish-style guitar. It is a lullaby for the end of the world. After 50 minutes of high-gain amplifiers, the silence and strings feel earned and deeply unsettling. Song for the Deaf remains the high-water mark for 21st century hard rock because it values rhythm as much as riffs. By using the radio conceit, the band allowed themselves to be eclectic, switching between punk, pop, and doom, while keeping a unified, dusty aesthetic. So that's that album review. Again, that album is Songs for the Deaf, released in 2002 by Queens in the Stone Age. I hope you all go and listen to it. It is a really good album. I was strongly surprised on how good it actually was when I listened to it for this review. And that's it for this week's episode. Again, don't forget to follow on Audio Drive X on Instagram for daily music content. And be sure to tune in to the Instagram account and the podcast for upcoming news and changes to the Instagram account and the podcast. So thanks again. Have a good week, and we'll talk to you next time. All right, bye.